Order. I call the honourable member for Solomon.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I want to start by saying what a great pleasure it is to be standing before you today as a member of the Abbott government representing the wonderful people of Darwin and Palmerston. I will again try and represent everybody in the fantastic cities of Darwin and Palmerston. I look forward to delivering on the election commitments that the country Liberals, as part of a coalition government, made during the election campaign. I'd also like to welcome all the newcomers to this place, and particularly the new member for Dobell, who sits next to me, and she is a very good member. I wish them all the very best, and I urge them to make good use of their time here, because we never know how long it will be. And being a politician is the ultimate community service, and whether it's helping a constituent with an immigration issue, providing pension advice, liaising between a local business and a government department, or burning a sausage sizzle at a community barbecue, there's no other job like being a Member of Parliament. The Abbott government was elected with a bold vision for change. The first of those has been to introduce to the Parliament yesterday legislation that will see the repeal of the carbon tax. The Coalition Government will legislate to ensure that power prices in the Northern Territory come down to levels equivalent to what they were when the tax began in 2012. In Solomon, the carbon tax has increased the electricity costs by around 10% over the past 2 years, an unacceptable impost on hard-working families and business operators in the Northern Territory. Obviously, electricity is an essential service used by all Territorians, but in the hot, humid, build-up, wet season months, there is another essential to life, and that is air conditioning. Recently, my office spoke to the operator of a Darwin air conditioning company, who said the cost of replacing the refrigerant gas in a domestic air conditioner had increased from around $25 a kilo to around $100 a kilo since the carbon tax kicked in. Another essential to living life in the Territory is ice. We use it in our eskies and barbecues, and it's something that people use all the time when with trying to keep our drinks and things cool. One of the largest ice suppliers in the Territory is NT Ice, and they're located in Berrima. Its operator, Michael Goonan, tried to absorb the price increase that resulted from the hike in electricity prices caused by the carbon tax. He even installed a 24 kilowatt solar system for $50,000. His application for assisted government funding were knocked back by the same Labor government that introduced the carbon tax to encourage alternative energy use. And after all that, he still had to put up his prices for a bag of ice. So it's a double hit that affected his business and ordinary Territorians who wanted ice for their weekend barbecues. Michael made a very good point. The carbon tax is a sneaky tax because its exact cost isn't outlined on the quarterly or monthly power bills. This makes it hard for consumers to see its actual impact on their cost of living. The GST, on the other hand, is all there for us to see. He also points out that the impact of the carbon tax on the competitiveness of Australian businesses is of concern. He had this message for Territory Labor politicians who want to keep the tax, including the member for Lingiari, Mr Snowden, and the new Senator, Senator Peris. He says they need to consider the capacity of Australian businesses to compete in the global market in this day and age. He says charges like the carbon tax prevent Australian businesses from moving forward and producing quality products at a market price that will be competitive overseas. He says countries are importing goods into Australia because imposts like the carbon tax make us less competitive, and this has a snowball effect: less manufacturing, less jobs, and less wealth to share around. Business operators like Michael Goonan can see the inherent dangers of applying an unnecessary handbrake to the Australian economy. It's a pity that those over on that side of the House, the Labor Party, can't also see it. I say, scrap the carbon tax immediately. That's what those on those side need to do. They need to side with us and agree to scrap the carbon
Order,
tax.
order.